Welcome everyone to some Dear Esther. Let's start the chapter. This has just gone so well so far. Oh dear. Oh well. Technical issues are a thing that happens a lot.
Dear Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Do I? I do. Whoa. This is pretty as. My god. Who needs to go to the beach to admire the view when you can just come here and admire it? That's kind of gloomy, but still pretty freaking sick as. Okay, so I got no jump, no crouch, no nothing. Just forward, back, and look around. I assume I have some sort of a interact with command. Or else this would be a very bad game then. I'm pretty sure it got Haru. What? Oh, okay. Auto flashlight, I admire your tenacity. Though you didn't do anything that invokes that word, but that's the word that came to mind when I was trying to say things. Oh, hey, that's a chemical formula. CHOH. I have no idea what it is, what it comprises, but it's 2 carbons, 3 hydrogens, 1 oxygen and a hydrogen. Could it be some sort of acidic formula? Who knows? If I'd passed chemistry, I would probably know. Well, I didn't not pass it, I just did really badly in it. I'll blame my teacher for that, though. He's one of those teachers who just sort of grab the notes and just chuck them on the board and be like, here you go, copy them down and you'll be fine. He didn't even bother trying to teach you properly. Anywho, Esther. Let's go up. That might lead us to the lighthouse, which might be our primary goal. And there's barbed wire. Why would you have barbed wire? Usually barbed wire is to keep things out, but that should be there to stop you from falling. Am I right? That path looks so pretty. What are those fall damage? What are those? Oh. Oh, I see. Whee! Oh, I guess there's no fall damage if you slide down the thing really fast. So that was a bit of a trickery, wasn't it? Trying to get me to go up that way, and they denied it with the caved-in area. The illusion of choice is there, if you take it. Okay, that looks like one of those sort of crabbing pots. Catch crabs or whatever in them. Yep, pretty sure that's it. Or some form of a crustacean pot. Oh, convenient. Stairs leading up that way, but...
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums, just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
What? So, the person who's talking about cried to fill the vacuum, and he only met her later on in his life, if it's a her, and he created vacuum so that she would cry. That sounds a bit evil. Or did she not cry when she was older? Did she fill the silence with random mumbling? Like I'm
A
sort of now.
wonderful sight. The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
I've got nothing to say. This guy's clearly gone loony. Which is respectable. I respect a man who's lost his way in life. Unless he goes and kills people.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid, or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
This stuff is mind-boggling me right now. It's just random
We are not
ramblings.
like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Yes. Quite. So I'm getting the feeling that...
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I threw my arms wide and the cliff opened out before me, making this rough home. I transferred my belongings from the bothy on the mount and tried to live here instead. It was cold at night, and the sea lapped at the entrance at high tide. To climb the peak, I must first venture even deeper into the veins of the island, where the signals are blocked altogether. Only then will I understand them, when I stand on the summit and they flow into me, uncorrupted.
Okay, that made sense. He made his home here for a while. Am I Esther? Is that the thing? And this guy writing these notes to me? Just telling me this stuff. So there was no way to actually go up. Right, that was just a cave to explore. And find some more random ramblings of chemical compounds. Right. That's bad, because I'm not too sure exactly where to go now. So we need to go further in. Do we just swim? Is that something that Esther can do? Is that something that Esther wants to do? It's just something that's going to be very, very slow and tedious. I feel like it is. I feel like it is indeed. Oh dear God. Note to self, you don't want to swim. Because you will drown.
Come back.
No! I don't want to come back. Oh, balls. So is there something I missed, or was I meant to turn left? I was meant to turn left. What a doofus. Derp-derp. At least we know that swimming is not an option, thankfully. Because you will drown. I like that though. Drowning and returning back to life on shore rather than just hitting an invisible wall that says, no, you're not meant to go this way. It's a good touch. But my God, is this place beautiful. But it just has that gloomy tinge to it though. I think because it's like so overcast and slightly dark. If the clouds were gone and the sun was higher up rather than setting right now, it would look magnificent.
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl, and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
Kudos to you, buddy. Hey look, chemistry. Oh, mouse clicking. Left mouse clicking zooms in ever so slightly. I hope there's not going to be like a chemistry quiz after this. So I'm going to fail that badly. So pretty though. So pretty. In a gloomy kind of way. Well, Esther, looks like it's just gonna be you and me for a while. Whoever your companion is, I guess I go down? Oh, loading. Cool. So far, it's turning out well. A lot of
Dear
walking
Esther,
though.
I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Honestly, dude, I have no idea what you're on about. I don't even know if Esther knows what you're on about. It's probably why you haven't got any replies yet to your previous letters. Probably thinks you're completely nutters. I guess this is what happens when you live on an island all alone, huh? Go a bit cuckoo in the head. If you're extremely smart, then you probably go even more crazy. Because you know how to use a whole foray of words and string them together to make absolutely no sense, but then they sound like they're so profound and deep. I'm sure it is profound and deep, but crikey, it's just going straight over my head. I hope everyone else feels the same way. Oh dear, 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 dear. So why do we have a shipwrecked tanker which had cargo on it? That's kind of scary actually. That makes me wonder what this island's all about. If there's a... What's it say?
There must
Something...
be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Something did he eat? No trap? No idea. Okay. Oh, what's that? I can't interact with anything, so... This is a dead end? Oh, maybe go that way instead? I'm curious as to what that boat says. Don't know if that's meant to be something that's buried there or not. No, it might be that bit of that box. Portion of the box which is here. Very possible. I definitely can't get a good angle on that with those words. That's alright. Question is, which way did I come from? I think I came from the right, so we're gonna go left.
I had
That's the
kidney
right way.
stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Okay, so processing what you just said then... He lost Esther because the drunk driver, which is why she's opaque, which means that it's see-through, which would make her invisible, which means she might be a ghost. And the kidney stones...
I've begun my ascent on the
No
windless
idea.
slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Someone's a bit of a druggie, huh? Whoa, that music took an interesting turn.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Diggity
3
down.
cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. His house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
You've gone crazy, buddy. So very crazy. My God, Sister, you're amazing. Strange, but amazing. dear, it's getting a bit tight, isn't it?
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
Bit of a shortcut, but that works. Sounded like it hurt, though. Sounded like it hurt a lot. Guessing that's newspaper. More wrecked ships, though. So this is either a very dodgy island where it's hard to get some ships on, to probably explain the lighthouse there to warn passing ships of this dodgy island, or this is the inside of some person's mind that we're exploring, which is probably the crazy guy's mind then, which would explain, well, he obviously has some attachment to this island somehow. That'll make the island real at some point, if he did have an attachment to it. I wonder if we'll figure it out. If we do figure out if the island is real or fake. Well, the only way to find out is keep going, huh? Into the belly of the beast, it looks like. Crikey. This is gonna be a loading screen, right? Hey! So smart. Esther? You okay?
From here, this last time, I have understood there is no turning back. The torch is failing along with my resolve. I can hear the singing of the sea creatures from the passages above me, and they are promising the return of the gulls.
Oh shit. My tenacious torch is broken. Yada yada. What can you do, huh? Luckily, ooh, why did I sink there? Luckily we do have these glowing mushroom things. I forgot what these things are called now. Stalagmites? Stalagmites? Freaking pretty, but...
There is no other direction, no other exit from this motorway. Speeding past this junction, I saw you waiting at the roadside, a one last drink in your trembled hands.
Yeah, he likes to use a lot of metaphors. Saying things to mean something else completely. Oh, look at that, it's a transformer. Hey, capacitor. Ah, you know, some electrical engineering, huh? That's the Earth. There's the... what is that, like a NAND gate? Oh. I like you now. Oh, there's a resistor. Yeah, you got a transformer. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to do anything. Must be a regulator then. Because generally you want, depending if you're stepping up or down the voltage, you'd have more or less coils on one side, depending on which way it's going. But I'm pretty sure to regulate the voltage you might have it the same, so that when it starts to decay over a certain amount of time it will step it up again to the correct voltage. So that way you can have it like extend kilometers. There's a bit of knowledge for you. I could be completely wrong, but I'm hoping that my years of working in that field have not betrayed me. We'll figure out. We'll find out one day. Oh my gosh. Okay, this reminds me of The Descent. This is kind of creepy now. I was admiring it, and then I just all of a sudden remembered The Descent, where they go to the cave, and then there's those things. And now I'm a bit freaked out. I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a horror movie, horror game, because I am not prepared for that whatsoever. If that's the case, I'm definitely going to not be playing this anytime soon. Alright, that way is blocked off, thankfully. So we'll go the other way that we can go. So far I'm digging that it's somewhat linear, so we're making progress in a crazy kind of way. I don't think I want to go down there. There's seriously no sprint button. I assume that you don't want to be sprinting around here. This place is wet and slippery, and there's rocks everywhere. One false step and you'd probably break your ankle. Actually, just the fact that you're walking normally is kind of amazing to me right now. That you can do this and not break anything. That is so pretty though. Wow, it changes colours. It's like one of those trippy disco lights. This might turn into that Far Cry 3, huh? Where you walk into that cave and then the mushroom releases its juices on you, which sends you on a massive acid trip. That's pretty cool. Never could get into Far Cry 3 though. I don't know, it just felt too open for me.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
That could be bad. How the hell are we breathing then? Some more chemical compounds. Very pretty cave though. Personally, I could probably never go cave exploring. Well, if it's open like this, I think I'll be okay with it, but I'm not that fond of terribly enclosed spaces. I won't say, well, I definitely do not have claustrophobia by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that tight spaces tend to make me slightly uncomfortable at times. Although I tend to avoid them, so I don't really know how uncomfortable I would get.
When I was coming round from the operation, I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if you were one of them.
Oh my god, we have words. Celluloid Danskas is taken. Damn them, they took Celluloid Danskas! How cool. Well, this is a complex circuit right here. Holy shit. Okay, so you're earthing to a capacitor. What? What? Why would you have earth connected to a capacitor? There's some resistors there as well, but that doesn't make sense. Unless I've completely missed the point. There's a transformer there, yep. It's a NAND gate or an OR gate, I can't remember which one it is. I can't even remember what it's called actually. I haven't done the circuitry side of things in a long time. I deal with the HV side of things. Like 415 volts and up. Depending which country you're from, I guess. You're 415, 420, 440. Might be even 400, eh? Oh, don't fall, Esther. We're marveling at this complex circuit which doesn't make sense at times. Away from being a city. Yes, this is away from being a city. And it shall be a Yes, head? I'm not sure what that says. Oh, scary. Okay. Are you like the beginnings of those stalagmites, whatever the hell they're called? Oh, we're gonna go swimming. This is not something I'm comfortable with. Last time I went swimming, I sort of drowned. Well, Esther, take a deep breath. I hope this guy's worth it. Really hope he's worth it. Acts 22.0. Do we have to? Geronimo! And loading? No. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Did the whole world get flooded? Damn you, global warming! What have you done to us? I hope I'm going the right way, because this is very slow going. Very, very pretty. It's definitely very atmospheric. But there's only so much commentary one can do on this. I just woke up into. Okay, so it's back in the cave. Rather than Crazy Land. Although it's still unknown if this place is just completely within some person's head. It honestly feels like it right now. Hey, we might be getting out of this cave. Unless something bad happens. Okay. Did we find him? Did we find his base camp? Whoa. This is like That scene from Bloodborne when you go fight the orphan. Never played Bloodborne, but I do enjoy watching it. I've raged too hard at that game. Any of the Souls games, actually.
The moon over the Sanford
Baby.
Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
Very nice. Sehr pretty.
For fire and
Ah,
soil, I chose
you.
fire. It seemed the more contemporary of the options, the more sanitary. I could not bear the thought of the reassembly of such a ruin. Stitching arm to shoulder and femur to hip, charting a line of thread like traffic stilled on a motorway, making it all acceptable for tearful aunts and traumatized uncles flown in specially for the occasion. Reduce to ash, mix with water, make a phosphorescent paint for these rocks and ceiling.
Okay, so I'm guessing we're most likely in a hospital. This is all in our heads. I see you there, buddy. You wait right there. I'm gonna come up there and talk to you. You just hang 10. I hope I'm going the right way to get to you. I need some answers here. Better freaking give them to me. I see you. Don't you dare walk away. Don't you dare be an ass and say, I'm gonna stay here until he tries to get up to me, then just disappear. That would suck. So we've got some chemicals again. Guess that's Esther, maybe? Pleasing music. Oh, it's a car. Pieces of a car. Okay, why not? I'm guessing our goal is to get up there. To what looks like a radio station, actually. I thought it was a lighthouse at first. That would
All by the roadside, by the exit for Damascus, all ticking and cooled, all feathers and remorse, all of these signals routed like traffic through the circuit diagrams of our guts, those badly ridden boats torn bottomless in the swells, washing us forever ashore.
That would explain why we saw the other lighthouse. There might be 2 lighthouses, I guess, in an island, but it seems silly. Why would that lighthouse be so low as well? I think it would be up high like that one, so that it can sort of cover the whole island to warn people off. Is that guy still there? I don't really have a good angle on him now. Whoop.
From here, I can see my armada.
I may have fallen off.
I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Okay. So you may have been marooned here. Which supports the theory that the island is not a very good place to try and visit with boat. Light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. On a sudden... Oh! Hi. Pretty little eggs. So your boat words there. Fair enough. Where's the music gone? I miss the music. Let's hope our friend is up there waiting for us. I reckon he's buggered off, hasn't he? That's fair enough.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
Ah, that's why all that medical stuff is there. But it seemed like he had a lot of pills left. Maybe this weren't painkillers. Hey, I saw you there. I saw you. And then you buggered off, you bastard. I can't get up there, can I? I think I dicked myself. Maybe. Maybe we've got a good angle on it.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
I was half expecting that when you get up there to look down, you'd see someone running across the thing. And as if he was proceeding on his journey. Fair enough. What's this one say? And has come near to Pam something. I'm not sure. And he...
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Yes. Oh, the sky's pretty now. Look at that. Doubt that's Orion's belt. I don't know my astronomy that well.
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
So you don't like this island anymore. You're gonna pull a castaway on us. You try to do it, but you might fail. decide it's worthwhile trying to keep going. Oh gosh. This writing's too hard to read, to be honest. Oh, come on, buddy. We're almost at the what appears to be a radio station of some description.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
He's really angry now. He's kind of scaring me. That moon is amazing. Let's put it out there. My god, it's getting stormy. Well, this is indicating that his mind's fracturing ever so slightly more.
I am the Ariel. In my passing, I will send news to each and every star.
Okay, buddy. What have you said?
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an Ariel, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Oh shit. So Esther Donnelly. Oh, fudge me. That's high. Damascus. I can't control this. Oh, gods. I turned into a bird. Holy crap. It's the Donnelly, huh?
Come back.
What's happening now? Okay, I can hear the waves. I just can't see anything. It's a black screen for me too. Am I meant to just be like, yep, this is done? Like, there's no main screen? I'll give it a bit more and I'm gonna just keep pressing buttons here. I guess that's Dear Esther, huh? Interesting game. Short, which is good because it didn't have much. Well, I didn't feel like it had much content to it besides being extremely beautiful and the random ramblings of the guy who we obviously were, who wrote the letters and jumped. So Esther Connolly is someone that he knew, and interesting. I have to play it again to fully understand it, I think, now that I know that Connolly is Esther Connolly, which would make his ramblings probably make a bit more sense than they did. Well, I'm gonna take a break and then jump onto something else for a bit. Sounds good to me.